Hello, how's everybody doing? Monday night again, we made it. It's the beginning of a new week, always fun. Welcome, my name is Greg Koch, 605 Running Company. Welcome to 605 Live, number 4 on the episode. Pretty excited about that and what we've got going on. So, first of all, let's recap the weekend. We had the Sioux Falls Skedaddle drive-through packet pickup yesterday. And what a great time it was. It was, in a lot of ways, really my first opportunity to see many of you for the first time in a long time, in like 6 weeks plus. So that really was a lot of fun. I appreciated all of the smiles and all of the conversations we were able to have. Drive-through packet pickup was a unique experience for sure. And it worked really quite well. It was pretty slick. I think most everyone was there between 20 and 30 seconds, upwards to maybe a minute, depending on how long it took us to gather all of the bags and things like that. So I want to thank our friends at Pink Gorilla Events, our partners on the Skedaddle for this year. Once again, they have proven themselves great partners for us. And nobody wanted the event to have to be different. We had a great live event planned, and it was awesome as a virtual event. The event industry has been hit pretty hard during COVID-19, and our event is no different. We joined the list of many events that have taken that on the chin as we've moved through this. So, like I said, Skedaddle packet pickup was wonderful. If you have any inquiries about this year's Skedaddle, say you want to change exchange your shirt for a different size or any of that kind of stuff, ask Pink Gorilla Events is where we want to go with those. They have all of the packets. They have all of the shirts to it. And it's not much. You signed up for a shirt, and that's the one we want you to have. But we can do limited exchanges if it's a possibility, and they're the ones to work all of that out. They are the race directors for this year and managing the event on that scale. We are partners in the sense that we split a lot of the work down the middle in terms of on race day, the 605 Running Company, we would be in charge of water stations and organizing volunteers. I took a lot of that on, and sponsorship recruitment. And there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into an event like that. But in terms of those types of inquiries, if you call the store, my staff is not going to be able to help you with those things. That is a Pink Gorilla thing for this year's event, and so you have to contact Pink Gorilla. So that's on the Skedaddle Run website. How to do all of that stuff is there. We are partners with Pink Gorilla on this event, but they are the race managers, and they're going to be the ones to handle all of those inquiries. Moving forward, we are excited for next year's Skedaddle. We'll have some details about that, and as it becomes more readily available, how events will look in the future. Obviously, I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart that participated and made the most of it. With live events, with running events, typically, what we see is like 97 to 99% of all of you are super pleased, and there's always a percentage that are upset about this, that, or the other. And, we definitely heard that. Like I said, nobody wants to have to make changes to an event that you meticulously plan. What I applaud Pink Gorilla for is always being innovative, always working hard to create a truly unique, independent experience like no other. And so they'll push the envelope and they'll try different things, and they definitely have done that with this event. And that's what makes events great, especially live events. So why Pink Gorilla? Why have we worked with them? And it's the things, we talked a lot about this last year in the inaugural skedaddle. So a little bit of history about the event. We started 3 years ago. The store put on our own half marathon, and it was really quite successful. But we had to cap it because we're a small business, and our forte is the running specialty business. So shoes, apparel, accessories, and training. Um, Events is something that we've gotten ourselves into and we enjoy doing, and we've done pretty well. But in order to make this event the skedaddle, we needed some help, and so that's where Pink Gorilla came in, and we've partnered with them for a lot of great things: exposure, experience, expertise, manpower, all of the things that have taken this from a small event to the large scale event that it is now. And so I really appreciate the partnership that we've had with Pink Gorilla, and I wish them all the best as they head into uncharted waters with events as well. And so they've got some great events coming up in the fall. They've got the Market to Market Relay and the Good Life Half C down in Omaha and in Lincoln and in that area. And if you've never done those, I encourage you to check those out, especially as we navigate the waters of what live events will look like in the future. They're going to be making excellent decisions for their events and continue to put on great experiences. But that's what I've got for Skedaddle. I really appreciated seeing everyone at the packet pickup yesterday. So it was a pretty cool deal. So I was with Ben and Jason, who are a couple of the head guys at Pink Gorilla, and then it was me out there. And for a while we had Benson and Marin, but for the bulk of the day it was the three of us. So the ownership teams of both entities were out there handing out all of the packets, and it's been great to work with those guys, and it was truly an awesome experience. But moving on, our guest tonight has got a lot of cool things going on, and we're gonna get right into that. So we're gonna head on to our interview, and I'll catch up with you after that.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining me. My guest this evening is the one and only Mr. Nathan Schwab. Nathan is a financial advisor for First Bank and Trust. He is also, more importantly, the president of the Sioux Falls Area Running Club and the race director for our local trail race series, which has, for the past 2 years, donated a significant amount of money to the Falls Area Single Track Organization. And we've been able to see amazing trails built through that. So welcome, Nate. Thank you for joining me this evening.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
First question, how are you? How are things?
Good. Kids are maintaining decently. School is done, or finishing up this week, so we're very happy about that. My wife is a nurse and everything, so that's a little concerning, but she's doing well, and everything's good at the hospital so far. They're not being overrun, so I'm very thankful for that. So ready for this warm weather and no school.
No school and no swimming pools this summer. Are you prepared for that?
Was that official? I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, announced today.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess it will be having the blow-up pool in the backyard a lot.
Good. I'll be over.
Nice.
So tell me, how are things with the running club? What do we need to know about the running club right now?
So we haven't been doing group runs or anything since all this started. We'll probably try and revisit that later this month and see if we should start reopening those or not. We're just kind of taking it easy. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing right now and running, which is what everybody should be doing. And for the most part, everybody, again, can do that on their own. So not much has changed there. But, our summer picnic will probably be delayed till later in the year, a little bit like last year. I think it was later in the year, more, August, September-ish. We'll see if we can have it by then. And we have a really cool trail chat coming up tomorrow night. And one of our board members, Eva, has a very accomplished trail running friend who is going to talk for us. And and then we're going to try and come up with a couple other things to keep people engaged until we can start getting back together.
Excellent. So I appreciate the board being active on trying to create virtual content and different types of things to see. You know, we were just discussing how tricky it can be when you're working with a volunteer base. Tell me a little bit, you know, I would say you're kind of the man that revitalized the Sioux Falls area running club. Walk me through what that process looked like and where the club was at when you got involved and how you sort of ascended to be president of the running club.
Well, as most people can tell you, it's not hard to take over a volunteer organization. Not very many people clamoring to do it. But no, Scott Walschlager really ran the club for a number of years, probably decades. I mean, he did it for a long time. Just kind of got wore out on it, ended up moving away. At about the same time, I took over the trail series, and the run club was being ran in a way where you know, you could be a member, you could get your newsletter that Scott was doing. He had a race calendar, and the website was updated enough, and they had a couple socials a year and some semi-formal group runs that they would have, and that worked well for a long time. And then some of those long-term members kind of, you know, just as normal things progressed, they kind of went their own ways and did their own things, and so there was a lack of structure, I would say, when I took over when I started the trail series and took over Newton Hills for Scott. And as he moved away, I kind of instituted that structure in there. So we kind of created a formal board with many positions and tried to get the help of the running community to really fill in the gaps where, you know, again, Scott was doing everything. We had Jacqueline and Eva doing a lot on the back end. And so we kind of brought their positions into more prominent roles, and then again filled in the gaps with other people so that we could maintain a board and have regular meetings and again accomplish the trail series and everything we're doing in a lot more proficient manner than I was willing to do on my own, like Scott was willing to do for so many years selflessly. So that's where we're at today. So.
Yeah, you've done a phenomenal job, and I appreciate all of the hard work that you've put into it. It's not easy, you know, as we mentioned, when you are working with a volunteer base, it's no one's full-time job to make sure that the things that the Run Club does happen. However, many people benefit and get value out of those things and have opinions on them, and so that's when it gets to be a challenge. And so I think you've handled it flawlessly. You've done a phenomenal job, really invigorating the club and making things happen, which is not an easy thing to do. So good on you, man. We've mentioned the trail race series a couple of times, and believe me, I know I just spent 10.5 hours outside at a drive-through packet pickup yesterday for the skedaddle. I understand where we're at in the event space world, but give me an update of where you are at with this year's trail race series. How about you tell me what we had planned and what we're looking at now?
Well, we're kind of up in the air. You would think a fall trail series would be fine, but you never know what's going to happen. You know, again, 6 weeks ago, we thought we would only be out of school for a week or two, and you know, we're now finishing up homeschooling at home. So we're hopeful that everything will be able to go on as normal. You know, we're anticipating probably lower numbers given what's happening out here, and we're really waiting on some more information on how big of groups we can have. And so forth before we really green light everything. I really held off on a lot of you know, I haven't put up registration or anything like that because I don't want to even put it out there if we're not going to have it. So I'm kind of waiting a little bit longer to get those things in place. But we did have some changes that I was looking to make based on the flooding we've had the last 2 years, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. So, but I know even out at Good Earth and Big Sioux Rec, been out there a little bit and seen other people's comments on social media that the trails are still in rough shape at Big Sioux Rec and Good Earth. There's one loop that's doesn't look like it's going to come back. I don't know if it will or not. So we are pivoting and trying out a couple new places. We're going to try a race at Tut Hill on the new single track that Fast built. So that sounds fun and good, but again, that's working with the city, which is different than we've done before. We've worked with the state parks before. We're also looking to maybe move down to Union Grove for a race down there because they don't have flooding issues. But we're trying to work with them on a course. The place where we kind of want to have the start finish is probably not going to work. So we're working on doing that. And sponsorships, the other thing. I know, we usually get a lot of sponsorships, and I feel bad even asking this year for things like that. So if we do have a trail series, which I'm hoping we do, might look a little different from a sponsorship standpoint and where the races are and distances. And the numbers might be capped at 40 participants or 30 participants or something like that to keep between the spectators, runners, and volunteers below a number that the CDC or whoever recommends and things like that. So those are some of the things we're considering. Hopefully, I'm really hoping by the end of July or mid-July, we would have a definite, this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen, or this is what it's going to look like, and sign up, let's run. So.
Very cool. Yeah, if you have not had a chance to run at Tut Hill, I highly recommend it. I compare it to like the roller coaster at like Arnold's Park. It's up and down, and it's so much fun to run. It's just a great little track to run on. And so the idea of running a race out there at Tut Hill where, the money that, the little money that we've made off of the race series has gone right back into local trails, which is such a cool deal, and such a unique opportunity that, has presented itself, sort of in a way, a self-sustaining type program. So talk to me a little bit about your knowledge of FAST and what they might have in the works or what they're hoping to do next.
Sure. Well, I'll basically speak from what public knowledge that's out there. I'd love to be more involved with them, but can't at this point given all the other things I have going on. But I definitely mountain bike and support them that way, and I'm a member of FAST also. But basically, their big initiative is 25 by 25, so 25 miles of single track by 2025. I think they're well on their way to hitting that goal between Leaders Park, Tut Hill, and then they have some single track along the bike trail, kind of the south, by Yankton Trails, the soccer fields and everything that you can ride on. And they've even expanded Tut Hill trails this year and Leaders Park, so they're adding on to the places they have. I think where they're looking next, I know the city has, from what I understand, the city has a lot of parks for them planned out well into the future to keep building single track on, so that's good. But I think Family Park, way over on the west side, is a destination they want to hit up pretty soon. And I also heard Lean Park. It's kind of up by Great Bear or Rice and Cliff out there. There's kind of a dog park. I think there's some trails hidden back in there that there's some wooded areas hidden back in there that they want to hit up. But that's about all I know. But I know they've got a lot planned, and we want to keep, again, raising a lot of money through the trail series so we can keep giving them money and so they can keep building the trails for us to run on. So very excited about that.
So tell me, how, if I'm not a member, how do I join the Run Club?
Well, at this point, you just go to our website, and I think it's runsiouxfalls.org and go to the Join tab, click on Join, and either sign up as a single or a family, and reoccurring or just a single membership, and you're good to go. You'll get kind of a virtual membership, and then you can use that for discounts at fine established running stores in town, and a couple other things that again we've mentioned. You mentioned before about supporting the local running community, parks and things like that, and a kids cross country series we do during the summer, and all those things.
Yeah, you took my next question. So the who's the running club for? It's really like you said, you can get a single membership, or there are family options. And talk a little bit more about kids cross country and some of the family initiatives that go into the running club. It's and who benefits from the running club.
Yeah, so you're right. Everybody benefits and can be a member of the running club. The family membership really encompasses the household. So we've had the kids cross country for a long time. I'm not even sure exactly how long it's been going on. A couple of our long-term members have really spearheaded that, taken and really done it the entire time. I just show up and cheer kids on every year and go from there. But it's three Wednesdays in September. They partner with actually the Parks and Rec department to do it, and any kid can show up. It says kindergarten through sixth grade, but really under sixth grade basically can do it. I've had my kids 3 years old running in it, but they just run a quarter mile, half mile, or a mile based on their age, and they get a little popsicle at the end. And it's a great introduction to running. It's in a circle at Morningside Park, so parents are running alongside and cheering them the whole way, and it's a great time. We hope to, if we can get up to a park, especially with the trail series, where there's enough room or close enough in town. Tut Hill may be a good example of that, of doing maybe a kids race at the beginning or something like that. But yeah, we hope to keep getting families involved more and more.
Absolutely. I'm always amazed at the number of kids that participate in the trail race series and beat me in the races. So maybe we need an age limit just so I don't feel terrible about myself as I'm getting beat by younger and younger kids every single year.
Yeah, that's the problem with getting old, Greg.
It is. What else do we need to know about the running club?
Well, we're just working on trying to keep on going, keep the ship sailing, and keep making improvements every year. I think we're working on some bigger things, where you might see a new website coming out later this year. You might see something, Sioux Falls becoming a designated running city, cool things like that. So our main goal again is to keep the main functions of the run club going, the couple socials and some of our races and just the camaraderie you get from being in the club. So those are the main things, and then we hope to again, as we have the time and are able to get together, keep having one-off group runs and fun things like beer runs and coffee runs and different activities like that to keep everybody engaged. So we'd love your support. It's relatively inexpensive to join, and again, that really helps us function and be able to give back to the running community. So love to have you. If you guys have any questions or comments or things you'd like to see, or anything constructive criticism, we'd love to see it all. Just email us at runsiouxfalls@gmail.com.
Very good, very good. So the last thing I have is during COVID-19, I'm asking everyone that I bring on here to leave us with a message of hope. So what's your message of hope today as we go forward through this unique time?
Oh, message of hope. Let's see. You know, no matter how difficult things get or how much work gets on your plate, just know that you always have people there to help you if you just reach out. And, that's a testament to, the run club coming back is not just uh, all of the things that I did. I had so much help from all of the other board members that have helped out for the last 3 years, and Run Club wouldn't be here without them. And I appreciate everything they do, and looking forward to continuing that on this year and next year and going forward as I step away someday and other people take over and keep this train rolling. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, Nate. I'll catch up with you later.
Sounds great. Thanks, Greg.
So there you have it. Soft spoken, but a great friend. I really appreciate Nate joining me earlier in the afternoon today to record that. So the Sioux Falls Area Running Club, definitely something you need to check out. If you are a member, you probably got an email earlier about the live chat tomorrow with Mario Mendoza Jr. Super exciting deal about that. So Eva, the events coordinator, she actually went to college with Mario, which is cool. They're gonna catch up, and there's if you go on to Facebook to the Run Club events page, there's a link. It's going to be a Google meeting, so you can ask questions and actually participate in the chat. You'll be muted, so you'll have to put them in like the chat box, but you'll be there with them as they talk all things trail running. If you're not familiar with who Mario is, he's a 4-time US ATF Trail Runner of the Year. He's a 5-time US ATF Trail Running National Champion. And he's a 6-time USA Trail Mountain and Ultra Team member. And so I'll make sure I get the link to that event in the description of this YouTube channel as well. Also, I'll be sending this out via an email, which is where most of you are actually probably going to watch it. But so I'll make sure you get connected with that. That's tomorrow night at 7:30. It's a really, really cool opportunity that Eva has created through the Run Club, and as Nate mentioned, the Run Club is only successful because of all the great board members that have been involved with that, and Eva is certainly one of them. She's been with us probably the longest on the board right now, and so she continues to create really fun events, and so we truly appreciate her and what she's got going on. And tomorrow night's going to be a ton of fun, so I'm definitely looking forward to it and checking it out. That's what we've got. That's our show for the week. I appreciate you all catching up. And again, if you've got any questions, reach out to the store, Greg at run605.com. You can email me. The phone number is 605-271-0480 down at the shop. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. Bye.